2025 was a year defined by transformation in the insurance industry. Between increased competition within the market and AI continuing to alter the landscape of insurtech, insurers everywhere are trying to figure out how they can leverage technology to set themselves apart in 2026. Today, I'm sitting down with Jacqueline Schaendorf, Cogitate co-founder and CEO of Insurance House, to explore the question many insurers are asking right now. What does the technology side of this industry need to do in 2026 to meet the needs of both carriers and policyholders?
That's a great question. So many different answers and so many different sets of answers, depending on the persona that you're coming from. So if you're the carrier, obviously you want to make the experience for your customer as fast and as efficient as possible. And so, for example, the technology and the data that's available is, and it's an expectation, especially with a generation that is so much more digital. The expectation is you should already have all my data. You should already have all my information. I don't want to go enter anything. I don't want to wait for you to enter anything. So you should have that, and that should be a need for speed that I need to achieve. So I can turn around and get the quote I need, get the coverage I need, and just have a fast and efficient experience like a lot of other industries today, whether it's your bank or your electricity or any of those utilities. Everybody can do everything very quickly online. So the customer experience has just got to be there. Ease of use, easy to understand. From a carrier's perspective, I would say the opportunity to take advantage of the fact that you're not only going to make your customer efficient, you're going to make yourself efficient. And we're, as a carrier, we are about the customer experience, but we also are about our expense ratio and our loss ratio. And so the technology from an efficiency standpoint, it's there. And, we all are working on AI, all of us. And the faster we can take advantage of those tools, ensure that our staffs are taking advantage of those tools, becoming aware of them, practicing with them. That's what's going to make us faster in so many different areas of the business. So those are key things that we're going to look at. But then, as importantly, we're going to be looking for insights. So we're going to be able to get the data that we need, access it the way we need to access it, and then interact with our data. Right now it's a very, yes, there's some great tools to let you slice and dice your data, but we really are looking to create an opportunity with the AI tools available to give us insights that we can interact with. So it's not like it's a linear process where you're building one report and then you're taking a slice and dice of that data. It's literally, can I have this data? Now can I have that data? And it's there and it's available and it's immediate. Those are the opportunities that we see, and those are the opportunities that we're building toward.
So now the focus goes beyond just collecting data for insurers. It's the insights that they can gather from it. But here's the real question. Why are these insights going to matter so much to insurers this year? And what happens when they can implement them quickly and accurately?
Well, because at the end of the day, what we're looking for is, what are the real profit drivers? What are the areas where we need to maybe tweak an offering, see an opportunity, where we could be more competitive, and maybe we're not because we don't have quite enough insight into realizing, hey, we could select a risk or we could price a risk a certain way. And I feel like the insights with the data are there, but we're just really, what it comes down to is getting to those lower levels. So everybody gets the outcome, i.e. the premium, right, on a certain risk, or we get a premium associated with certain classes. But then you start digging down into the data that now becomes available because, one, there's a lot more data available to capture and to glean insights off of. So we're used to probably taking it down to maybe 3 or 4 dimensions, maybe in some cases, even double that. But now you're looking at the combination of things that come out of those data sets that might give you some insights that you never would have gotten without the level of these tools and the capability of these tools. And then I think as importantly as you're gleaning that data is the ability to be able to act on it very quickly, and so you definitely want the technology that's set up to that's so agile that if you need to make a move because you have studied the data, you do have the insights, you're now confident in what you're going to do with your next move, now let's make it quickly, and so that's another component of being able to, respond to what a carrier needs or what a program administrator needs I have it. I need to move on it. I don't want to be bogged down by, going through a protocol of technology that takes a long, long time. I think the industry overall has improved that tremendously, but I feel like there's a lot of room for improvement there. And so, it just gets down to how's the technology architected? How is the ability what's the scope of me being able to do what I need to do for that technology as quickly as I want to do it?
We've established that AI is here to stay, and it's going to be a big part of how insurers leverage these insights. But in a world where AI is everywhere, is it the technology itself that sets insurers apart, or rather the technology partner?
I think it's both. I think it's both. One, the skill set that you have to take full advantage of it, or a greater advantage of it is, and this is not new news, but this is the ability to set up the query, set up the prompting, and that's a skill set in and of itself. So if you think about how you're taking all these years of technical insurance knowledge, and now you're the person who is taking that knowledge and setting up the question set to optimize the efficiency of what's going to come back to you, the answers that you're going to get, the insights that you're going to get, I think that's going to be a significant advantage. If you do have those skill sets and if you grow those skill sets. But as importantly, you do need the partner with the platform then can let you leverage that knowledge and then let you leverage those AI tools. The knowledge that your partner has, the technical knowledge of the industry that your partner has, you're not spending hours trying to teach them a specific concept or a series of concepts. You're having a dialogue just like you and I are having. You understand exactly what the other party is saying. And so you can then, not only do you understand it and digest it quickly, you could actually turn around and offer insights into, hey, you might be missing this, or did you think about that? So you really become a technology and technical insurance solutioning partner to get to the answer quickly.
The bottom line is empathy. A technology partner that has been where you are and knows where you're trying to go can be a huge game changer.
As we're having this conversation, one of the things that I think about as a carrier, and all carriers are like this, you're going to naturally have curious people, right? And so when you start to see the power of the technology, you start to see what it can do for you, then you ask more of it, right? And so in a vendor partner and a technology partner, what you're really looking for then is, and you have an expectation that it's table stakes, that they know what you're talking about and they can digest what ideas you're presenting for. Because all of us ask the famous question, well, can it do this? Yeah. Right? And it is the platform itself. And if you think about it, the platform was developed by other individuals who happen to be technology skill set people. Yeah. And so they're not necessarily thinking about the insurance transaction when they're building that architecture, but it's when you get that firm that really understands this is how this information is going to be consumed. This is how it needs to be consumed. And they're going to ask us more questions. They're going to want more. And that is the ideal part of the partnership, where they're thinking ahead 2 to 3 steps to meet your curiosity question. So when you find a partner like that, where you can say, okay, I don't have to presume you know the answer, but you guys actually know the answer, what a bonus. It definitely is. It's a partnership where if you're at least speaking 80% of each other's language is a very big deal. It's a big differentiator.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, I think